welcome to another installment of the Robert and Crew Show with your hosts, Robert and Crew.
Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. Sorry, guys, about last night. Last night we were supposed to do a podcast. We're gonna do that podcast tonight. Yes, I passed out last night, and I was just dead tired, and I could not stay awake to save my life. So I had to basically just go to sleep. I'm sorry. I was not awake last night to stream. But tonight we will be doing our conspiracy cast on the 411 missing persons in national parks. As of today, right now, I will be doing the latest news updates around the world and around Missouri. So the biggest news story in the world right now is in Missouri, okay? The United States Missouri tornado outbreak. A devastating storm system brought up to 19 tornadoes across 25 Missouri counties on March 14th to March 15th, killing at least 11 to 12 people, with the death toll expected to rise. Assessments continue. The southwest to south central regions, including Rolla, Missouri, and Poplar Bluff, Missouri, saw significant destruction, with over 47,000 still without power. Governor Mike Kehoe has activated the emergency measures to address this crisis. All right, so I live pretty close to Kansas City. Okay, I live right outside of Kansas City, so we live about let's say 35, 45 miles away from these places. Some of them maybe like at most maybe 75 to 100 miles away. But these storms were right next to us. We felt the craziness. We could feel the 70-mile-per-hour winds, the 80-mile-per-hour winds at times. It was just ripping through the neighborhoods, ripping through everything, tearing stuff up. It's pretty outrageous, actually. It was cool, though, to like see all of this stuff. It's not cool for the people that had to go through the tornado, lost half their stuff, or if not more, lost everything. So the tornadoes out in Missouri have been absolutely ridiculous. I've got some videos on that real quick that we can watch together. But as always, I have to play this real quick.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. No view in this podcast should be taken literal unless one of us says it is our personal opinion. But even so, it is only that, an opinion.
All right, guys, so here we go.
Tornado on the ground! Power flash! Power flash! Oh my God!
So that wasn't that great of a video, but yes, that's one of the tornadoes that was ripping across Missouri. Here's another one.
As many as 20 people are dead in the United States as a powerful storm system sweeps over Texas, Missouri and Arkansas. Dozens of tornadoes are smashing homes and businesses, ripping up trees, leaving 300,000 homes without power. Mississippi and Louisiana are now in the path of the system. 138 million people are still at risk of severe weather.
138,000 people are still at risk for severe weather. So basically, so take this into consideration, by the way. We got all those tornadoes and severe weather across Missouri the day before yesterday. Well, yesterday night, the day before yesterday, that night that all the severe storms were coming through, we actually got smoke from the Oklahoma and Texas fires. That came in really hard, so hard to the point where you could smell fire all throughout the air, right? All throughout the regions. And the craziest thing was it started to rain down ash. We literally saw ash. Now, they were calling it dust, but we saw pieces of ash that big floating down. And apparently all of that ash was brought in from Oklahoma, from the fires that were being caused in Oklahoma. So it's pretty intense that the wind was blowing all of that our way directly into Missouri. And then directly after last night, it turned to it felt like -17 here after an 80-degree day 2 days ago, and then severe storms. It felt like -17 last night, and it snowed. We have snow outside now. After we got the tornadoes and all the crazy rain, it dropped down to 17 degrees, or -17 it felt like last night. It was probably somewhere more around like 10 degrees last night, and it snowed. There's literal snow on the ground outside after all of the tornadoes and everything. So this weather cannot make up its mind. I want it to be over. I want winter to be done with. I want spring to be here. I want these tornadoes to get out, even though I know tornado season is just beginning. So buckle up, guys. Here's the next video. So that was Tylertown, Mississippi. Tylertown, Mississippi got hit really bad with a tornado. Missouri, Texas, Oklahoma, we all got kind of, well, Oklahoma and Texas got fires, and we all had tornadoes out here. So the tornadoes that were out here in Missouri, they ripped pretty hard. They caused a lot of damage, and they also hit Mississippi, and they're on their way to Alabama. So it's just been kind of crazy. But so here's some backstory on that tornado. So basically, the most recent significant activities in Missouri or in Mississippi. Sorry, guys. I have to get all situated. All right. The most recent significant tornado activity in Mississippi occurred yesterday, March 15th, 2025. A powerful storm system spawned across multiple tornadoes across the South, including Mississippi. Reports indicate tornado emergency was issued for southern Mississippi, which was particularly dangerous supercell, producing a long-track tornado near Bassfield, moving towards Taylorsville. This storm exhibited extreme wind shear, lofted debris over 20,000 feet, suggesting a potential violent tornado, possibly an EF3 or all the way up to an EF5. Though ratings were pending confirmation, earlier around Tylertown, a confirmed tornado caused significant damage, which was the one we just saw. This outbreak was part of a broader severe weather event affecting Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, with forecast warning of likely tornado outbreak across central Mississippi, including areas like Hattiesburg and Jackson, Mississippi. For context, Mississippi is no stranger to tornadoes. Just weeks ago, on March 4th through 5th, 2025, an EF2 tornado struck Waynesboro, following that EF3 that hit the same area in February, showing a pattern of repeated severe weather this year. The current system, however, aligns with the March 14th through 15th outbreak that devastated Missouri, indicating a large, intense weather pattern across the region. So basically, Missouri and Mississippi and Texas, we had this huge weather outbreak, but these tornadoes have been devastating Missouri, Mississippi, and Alabama mostly. So that was Tylerstown, Mississippi.
Oh my God.
So I don't know what happened, guys, but I seem to have lost my camera. I'm trying to figure this out right now. Sorry, I have a plane flying behind me. Let me figure this out, guys. I seem to have lost my camera. All right, guys, we're gonna have to do this without a camera for right now. I'm so freaking sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. I don't know what happened. There's a reason why this camera thing happened. All right. Did that fix it? Oh, hey, there we go. I'm back. All right, I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. But anyways, that was a video of Bakersfield. A significant tornado struck Bakersfield, Missouri on the evening of Friday, March 14th, 2025. As a part of a widespread severe weather outbreak across the state, this tornado was confirmed at large and extremely dangerous, moving northeast at about 50 miles per hour through southern Missouri, specifically impacting Bakersfield area and the Ozark County. About 270 miles southeast of Kansas City, the National Weather Service radar indicated a strong tornado signature with notable debris and a ball visible several thousands of feet aloft, suggesting the intense destruction. Reports confirms that this was an EF3 tornado with the peak winds of 140 miles per hour. It hit around 8:30 p.m. CDT, damaging and destroying numerous houses, rolling cars up to 100 yards and uprooting trees completely. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reported at least 3 fatalities in Ozark County linked to this event, part of a broader toll of 12 deaths across Missouri. The storm system that night in Bakersfield community near Howell and Ozark County lines saw significant structural damage, with emergency responses ongoing into Saturday. Governor Mike Kehoe described the statewide devastation as heartbreaking, with up to 19 tornadoes affecting 25 counties. Power outages and debris cleanup continues to challenge the area as of March 16th, 2025, with the full extent of the damage still being assessed. So they don't even know what the full extent of the damage right now is. So that's pretty intense. Thank you, Julie. Hi, good morning. I'm glad you are tuning in right now. I'm sorry that I missed last night. I passed out on accident. I just thought I'd do a little bit of weather update on Missouri. Oh, okay. So you're going to go to church and you're going to watch the rest of this later. That's fine. Thank you for telling me that it's fixed also. Julie's been our #1 fan on here for a long time now. So she really backs the podcast. Thank you, Julie. So Bakersfield got a horrible tornado that they went through. That is crazy to see the amount of destruction and how powerful those things are. How the tornadoes can just rip through and destroy an entire structured city in a matter of seconds. I can only imagine what it would be like to be right up next to it as that thing rips right through your house, tearing off shingles and debris and just throwing them there, throwing them there. Did you see that car, that smart car that was sitting there right on that lawn, and it just flips up and it about blows away? Those storms are so intense. I can only imagine being the one out there videotaping all of that. See, us Midwesterners, us Missouri goers, we like to sometimes go out in the middle of the storm and watch the tornadoes because we're crazy like that. We just love doing that kind of stuff. All right. So that one was intense. Those tornadoes look absolutely insane. I would not want to be around those when they ripped right through Missouri. The amount of trampolines that just went sheer flying across people's yards and going through people's fences. The trampolines, man, you'd think people would I mean, I know that some of these storms you don't know when they're happening, but you'd think that people would know that like during springtime you should probably put your trampoline somewhere it's not going to fly away. Either A, put it in the garage, or B, break it down, put it back in the box till spring comes, because having them trampolines out there when severe weather hits, that can cause more damage to everybody else's stuff because those trampolines go flying. Now I know in a couple of those videos, man, you see trees literally being torn out of the ground and uprooted. Like, to put this into perspective for y'all, in order to have a tree get uprooted from wind, it is absolutely heavy, high winds. Tree roots go deep, deep, deep into the ground. They latch on into the dirt to keep that tree there, to make sure that that tree stays where it's supposed to be. So if that tree is literally being uprooted by these winds, it means that those winds are anywhere between 80 to 180 miles per hour. Think, you get big oak trees, for instance. A big oak tree can weigh a couple tons sometimes, depending on how big it is. In order for wind to rip that up and uproot it, that's insane. I actually heard at the start of the storms in a neighboring town of Kansas City, a suburb called Blue Springs, which I live pretty close to. Basically, a tree, while somebody was driving, a tree fell on top of their car. I hope they're okay. I heard that they were immediately taken to the hospital. I've heard I've heard reports that say the person passed away, but I also hear reports that say the person is still okay and they're in critical condition. So to put that out there, that I hope they are perfectly fine, and I'm sorry that happened to them. But the fact that a tree was uprooted, that big of a tree, and it landed right on top of somebody's car when they were driving, completely demolishing the car and putting the person to the hospital, if not killing or taking that person's life, that is absolutely crazy. And what bad luck to be driving down the road as a giant tree is uprooted and lands right on top of your car. Oh my goodness, if that guy is okay, he needs to go buy a lottery ticket, because that's one of those things that once in a lifetime thing happen. At least you hope it's only once in a lifetime. You ain't never want to go through that again. This weather is just getting crazier and crazier and crazier. And a part of me wonders if maybe it's because of the blood moon. Like, after we have all of these crazy instances of like lunar eclipses and eclipses, Well, the moon does affect our tides, and sometimes it can affect like weather events and just different weather things that happen around the world. Well, what if those weather events were affected because of the lunar eclipse the other day, and that's why we're having all of this crazy weather? I don't know. Some people are going to scream and they're going to say, it's fucking climate change, you asshole. But I don't think so. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not believe in climate change. I don't. It's going to get cold. It's going to get hot. The earth is going to go through times where it's hotter, and it's going to go through times where it's colder. You know, there's ice ages, and then there's moments of extreme heat. You don't want an ice age because it will kill everything. You don't want extreme heat because it will kill everything. But basically, it gets hot on earth sometimes, and you have this time where it just gets stupid hot and everything dies because there's no water. The water's evaporating. The water's all underground. You can't get to it. And then you've got times where it's so cold that everything freezes. So basically, like how there were ice ages back forever ago where they believe like the dinosaurs died from a meteorite hitting, causing an ice age, causing extreme cooling around the earth at that time. I believe those are all cycles. They're all cycles. It's not climate change. Climate change is bullshit. You can hate me all you want. You can say that I'm full of crap, but climate change is bullshit. They have said forever. Back in the 2000s, right when 2000 hit, they said, "Oh, it's going to be another ice age. We're gonna die or whatever." Never happened. Never happened. Then they said, "Oh, the ice caps are going to melt in 10 years. And we're going to have significant water change, and the water level is going to rise, and it's going to cause severe flooding everywhere." It did not happen. Some flooding happened, but the ice caps did not melt. Nothing near to what they said it did. Absolutely ridiculous. Al Gore writes a book called, oh my God, what was it called? It was An Inconvenient Truth, all about climate change and the responsibilities of climate. He gave us a 5 to 10 year to 20-year standpoint of what he thought. He basically said the world was going to end in 20 years if we didn't change everything, if we didn't get rid of cars, if we didn't stop spraying aerosol into the atmosphere, if we didn't fix the ozone layer. We were basically all going to die in 20 years. Guess what, Al Gore? It's been 20 years. It didn't fucking happen. So climate change is fake. Climate change is fake. You can't change my mind. Climate change does not exist. So all these climate change activists can go shove it up their ass and take it out the other way, because there is no such thing as climate change. Now, I'm done with my climate change rant. Let's back on to the tornadoes, okay? So here's our next tornado video. How do we even get hail that piles up so fast like that? Yeah, that hail looked like snow. It looked like snow. That's so crazy. These poor people though that went through all this weather defying stuff. I feel where they're coming from, and it must have sucked. So a destructive tornado just tore through Rolla, Missouri on the evening of Friday, March 14th, 2025. As a part of a massive severe weather outbreak across the state, this twister struck around 7:56 p.m. CDT with radar showing strong debris ball lofted thousands of feet into the air, a telltale sign of significant damage. It carved a path of destruction along South Bishop Avenue, shredding businesses like CK Nails and a soon-to-open gym in a strip mall, leaving roofs ripped off and debris strewn everywhere. Videos from a gas station captured fierce winds and flying debris as residents sheltered in their cars. While photos show entire buildings being reduced to rubble, the National Weather Service had a tornado warning in effect from 7:30 to 8:15 p.m. CDT, tracking the storm moving northeast at 70 miles per hour through Phelps County. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reported widespread impact with at least 10 deaths statewide from overnight storms, through specific casualties in Rolla itself have not been isolated in the latest updates. Power outages hit hard in Erin, Missouri, reported over 103,000 customers in the dark Saturday morning, with Rolla among the affected areas. Emergency crews have been working since dawn to clear downed lines and assess the wreckage, which has also damaged Rolla public schools, including the middle school and 2 elementary buildings. This was one of the 19 tornadoes that may have hit Missouri that night, per Governor Mike Keogh's office, making it one of the state's most active tornado seasons on record, and the tornado season has just started. The storm's intensity was fueled by a volatile mix of warm and moist air, strong wind and shear. Today, March 16th, 2025, the cleanup and recovery efforts are underway, with the community reeling from the sudden devastation. So that one that hit in Rolla, ooh boy, did it cause so much damage. We just watched it. It was ripping apart strip malls, tearing off roofs. Not something I really want to be around. I remember a couple of years back in Joplin, Mo, we had a giant tornado kind of like that, just ripped through. Okay, the one in Joplin, I think, was an EF4 or possibly even an EF5. The tornadoes, man, tornado season has just started, and they're saying this could have been one of the worst tornado seasons for this area, and it's literally just started. So I don't even know what to say about that. Missouri's crazy. Missouri is absolutely crazy. So as of March 16th, 2025, Joplin, Missouri was not directly hit by a confirmed tornado during a massive outbreak that struck the state on March 14th through 15th. That night, up to 19 tornadoes tore through 25 Missouri counties, killing at least 12 people, with significant damages in places like Rolla, Bakersfield, Poplar Bluff. Joplin, and Jasper County were under tornado warnings as a part of the broader severe area event, though, with radar indicating rotation near Carl Junction, just north of Joplin. Around 8 p.m. CDT on March 14th in Joplin itself, from this outbreak of the latest updates, the National Weather Service and local reports like KY3 and KOAM News now have focused on other areas, with Jasper County escaping the worst power outages and wind damage that was widespread, but Joplin directly dodged a bullet with this one. May 22nd, 2011 was Joplin's historic tornado outbreak. So this is the giant tornado that hit Joplin. The most significant tornado in Joplin's history struck on May 22nd, 2011. This EF5 monster, with winds over 200 miles per hour, ripped a 6-mile path through the city, staying on the ground for at least 38 minutes. It killed 161 people, injured over 1,000, and destroyed nearly 8,000 buildings, including Joplin High School and St. John's Regional Medical Center. The damage hit about $2.8 billion, making it the costliest single tornado in U.S. history at the time. It also is the deadliest U.S. tornado since 1947. Starting west of the city at 5:34 p.m. CDT, it grew to a mile wide, leaving a scar visible from space. Recovery took years, with new building codes and storm shelters added after, driven by lessons from the devastation. So Joplin, that was Joplin's tornado back in 2011. I remember when that happened. It was absolutely insane. It tore through the Walmart in Joplin, Missouri. It left that city looking like God literally stepped on it. Like it was the hand, like what they say in the movie Twister, the hand of God. An EF5 tornado. It was like an EF5 is like the hand of God just bitch slapping the shit out of that city. That is what happened to Joplin. And that's basically what happened on the 15th to a ton of Missouri counties and towns. A ton. I am praying for all of these Missouri people that had to go through this. St. Louis witnessed a huge hailstorm. Huge. We down here, we didn't get the hailstorm, but right after the tornadoes and after the crazy smoky fire stuff from Oklahoma, it freaking snows here. We're talking, we got at least maybe a quarter of an inch. It snowed, and the snow actually stuck to the ground, even though it was 80 degrees 2 days ago. Like this weather's crazy. Like, I know that Missouri, since we're smack dab in the middle, we get this hot front, this cold front. Sometimes they mix and we get fucking tornadoes. And sometimes the freaking tornadoes are absolutely crazy. They can do all kinds of crap. They can just, man, they just devastate and destroy. That's all I can really talk about. Just devastation and destruction. I pray for everybody that had to go through this in Missouri. I absolutely pray for you. I hope your lives get better over time, and I hope that you can rebuild, and I hope that you didn't lose any family members or pets or anybody. I hope through this tough time, through this really hard, tough time, that y'all make it out and you become better people and have a better outlook on life after this. I know it will be hard, but you guys can rebuild, and you will rebuild, and this city will become stronger for it. I think we need to have some kind of public tornado shelters built around Tornado Alley. So not only have these schools that double as FEMA shelters, but also have actual shelters built in every city that welcomes everybody. So that's at the start of a tornado, or even if they think there's going to be a tornado that happens, there needs to be a building in these places like Missouri and Joplin and Kansas and Texas and anybody in Tornado Alley. It should be basically, you should have to have these storm shelters every, like, let's say 10 miles. So that if you're on the road driving, or you're out shopping, or you're just somewhere out and about when devastation hits or disaster hits or a crazy weather thing happens, that you have a shelter that you can go within 5 freaking miles, 10 miles. You have a shelter that you can get to immediately like that. And we know that it has to happen. We know that we need that because places like Missouri and Kansas and Texas and Oklahoma, we get hit all the time with tornadoes. And I personally feel like the cities don't take the tornado threat that seriously. Of course, we have the tornado sirens. Of course, we have the weather alerts. Of course, you can get the text messages. But we as a city, we need to put more money into tornado shelters and just educating people on weather and what to do during these violent weather outbreaks, because a lot of people don't know. And us Midwesterners, we'd rather grab a beer, go outside, and watch the tornado rip through unless it's coming right at us. So a lot of us Midwesterners aren't the smartest. Me being included, I would gladly go outside, crack a cold one, watch an EF5 rip my neighbor's house apart, as long as it didn't come within 20 feet of my house, or sorry, not 20 feet, like basically, as long as it didn't come within a mile of my house, I'll be out there watching it. So we need to have more people that are aware of what to do during these weather problems, because you got to educate the public on what to do during these storms. They happen and nobody knows what to do because it happens so fast. And we don't have programs telling people what to do after a giant storm, or telling them what to do before a giant storm. This isn't like we live in Florida. We don't have hurricanes all the time. We don't live in Louisiana. We don't have hurricanes all the time. So we're not told what to do. We're just expected to know what to do. go to the basement, seek shelter, do whatever. We need to have better communication about what to do when disaster strikes, specifically EF5 to EF1 tornadoes. Here's the last video for this morning's cast, guys.
So I'm hoping that it's not something. Look at this. Yep, some poor saps. That truck, I think that's total. Look at that car. That car right here.
My God. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, that
Wow. Rolla went through it, guys. Literal trees uprooted in the middle of parking lots. Like, that tree did not come from that parking lot. It was put there. Power lines supporting freaking light poles. This is absolutely devastating. And I hope Rolla, Missouri can completely get back to itself. I know it's going to take probably a year to a year and a half, but I really, really hope that the people of Rolla and the people in Tylertown, Mississippi, and all these other places that were basically smacked with this crazy tornado, I hope that all of these people can recover. My prayers go out to you guys. My heart goes out to you guys, and I don't wish this upon anybody. I hope here that this all gets better for you guys. But anyways, guys, that was the weather update for Missouri. That was Missouri news today. I thought it needed to be touched on with the severe weather that went through, and then the freak ice / snow that hit last night us around Kansas City. So with that, I'm gonna say that this morning cast is over. I will tell you guys though that tonight we are going live. We're going live at about 11 p.m. We're going to be doing our 411 Missing in the National Parks Conspiracy Podcast. So if 411 or missing persons interests you, please tune in tonight at about 11 p.m. Either tune in on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube. Thank you so much. This has been a wonderful morning episode of the Robert and Crew Show with your host, as always, Robert, telling y'all peace out, have a good night, peace out, have a good morning, and I'll see you tonight.
Welcome to another installment of the Robert and Crew Show with your hosts, Robert and Crew.